Welcome to episode 4 of the Nerd Bullshit Training Podcast with your hosts Christian Summers and Job Murphy. Today we're going to be talking about supplements, what you need, why you need to take it, and a little bit of the BS behind what you do and don't need. And then also we're going to be talking about the deep reason why you want to achieve your fitness goals. How are we doing, Job?
Yeah, I'm good, mate. You alright?
Yeah, absolutely fantastic. Just sipping on my iced Americano, getting myself fueled up for the podcast, mate.
Yeah, I've drunk mine. I got too excited. I got impatient, so now I'm just going to be buzzing on this podcast. Like,
That's what you need.
tune your ear off.
It's gone. So then, supplements to start with, mate. What would you say a general person who's training at the gym needs? Or would you say even need it? Or what would you recommend?
It's probably normally based off deficiencies. That's the way I look at it. As depends on their nutritional habits and what they're deficient in. So
essentially, well, I suppose you won't really know what they're deficient unless you did a blood test. But do you mean like, I suppose, what the diet lacks?
yeah. So if they come to me and say, what supplements do I need? Well, I would say none. If everything's on point, if all your diet's on point. The only thing I'd probably recommend is vitamin D3, which is obviously because there's not much sunlight in this country compared to other ones. But other than that, maybe a multivitamin if they're not, getting a lot of fruit and veg in their diet. But obviously, a lot of it depends if they get a nutrition plan. It's a lot easier to recommend supplements. It's kind of, if someone comes up to you and asks you, what supplements should I be taking? Well, I'm not sure because I don't know what you're deficient in, except for vitamin D3, I'd say, which is a pretty standardized deficiency just because of, obviously, it's in the winter here, there's not much sunlight.
Yeah, I'd say that's fair to say. What I do with, obviously this is when I take on clients, but there's kind of like a general list that I think is worth getting for the majority of people. Vitamin D3 is at the top of that list. It's the sunshine hormone, as Job said. It's something that none of us get much of in the UK or Ireland, Wales, Scotland, and it's gonna, being deficient in this is gonna generally affect your mood. It can affect your testosterone levels. It can affect your performance in the gym, functioning muscles, healthier bones, quite a lot of different things really. So making sure that you take vitamin D3, regardless of who you are, pretty much. If you're in the UK, you should take it. It's going to benefit you, especially on the mood front as well. Like, I think that's a big one, especially with all the mental health stuff that's been spoke about at the minute. I think that's something that people don't even speak about, is what do they eat and what do they supplement with. I think vitamin D3 is probably a great one for that. Not that it's going to fix mental health issues, but it's going to just be great for your mood in general.
I think exercise and diet is very, very beneficial for mental health.
Yeah, definitely. And as well as that, I generally recommend an omega-3 supplement. I recommend Nordic oil, which is probably the best fish oil on the market in my opinion. It's got the right levels of EPA and DHA, which, for those that don't know, they're essentially the active ingredients in fish oil that kind of do all the great stuff about it. So it's going to be good for your heart, your lungs, your brain function, general inflammation in the body. It's kind of like the modern day snake oil. It does it's supposed to be like everything really. If you look up onto the research of the supplementation of omega-3. And then I also recommend a multivit, just because it's quite cheap. And obviously we try as best to get, like Job says before, like, he likes to look at people's diets first and then make decisions. So you're not like essentially wasting your money, I suppose, if you don't need it. And then if you do, you take them. But I think a lot of the time it's going to be very, like, we try as best to get like a varied diet where we're getting plenty of different fruits and vegetables and different meats and stuff like that and covering all bases. But if we're on low food especially and we're trying to lose fat, it is difficult to get loads and loads of different stuff in while still keeping in as calorie goals. So I think it's just worth taking as a keepsake type thing, because it's not necessarily very expensive at multivits. And then what else do I recommend? So vitamin D3, omega, multivit, they're the main ones. And then I also generally say to people, get yourself a whey protein isolate, and that's just the people that, when I look at what they're currently eating prior to being with me, the protein intake's been pretty damn low, and I just find that whey protein isolate, so it's the powdered protein, is this, guys. It's just an easy way to get your protein intake up.
100%. Yeah,
and they're pretty much the only ones I recommend. Where do you, in terms of, like, where do you get people to buy them from you?
What, protein powders?
Just all of this, all the supplements. Do you have like a recommendation of like a place to get them, or?
I get, obviously with vitamin D, I get a D3 oil, so like an oil-based tablet, because it's more soluble compared to the tablet.
Yeah, that's an important one. That I see. So they do. For some reason, some companies sell the hard tablet of vitamin D3, but from everything me and Job have read, is vitamin D3, in order for it to actually be absorbed by the body, you want to get it in a capsule, so you want to get it like a fat oil bit, like a little, almost like what you see the omega-3 tablets in, guys, if you've seen them before, where it's like a little capsule thing.
Yeah, you can't actually get them from, well, I get protein powder isolate, well, like you said, whey isolate I recommend, and you get that from bulk powders, that's what I recommend people to get.
Same.
But they don't actually do a D3 oil-based
I get mine from MyProtein. That's where I recommend.
Yeah, MyProtein's pretty good.
MyProtein
you can also get it off Amazon. But
right, yep.
Yeah, but obviously it's a bit weird, isn't it, that one? I'm surprised they don't do it. But.
So so it's an Amazon one. Do you know which brand it is?
It's, I forgot the name of it. It's not. I just know it's an oil-based one. It's the one.
Yeah, if you type in vitamin D3 on Amazon, it's oil-based. They're good to go.
I can't remember the name off the top of my head, but yeah, I recommend. Yeah, like you said, they're all good starting points to have. But with, like, also if someone's struggling with sleep, I would probably recommend a ZMA.
I've supplemented with ZMAs before. You get some funky night dreams off them. You do.
Yeah, no, that's a good recommendation for sleep. If anyone's struggling with sleep, I'd recommend a ZMA, which is zinc, magnesium. I forgot what the A stands for.
I don't even think it's
zinc, magnesium, and something else.
It's like the A is just magnesium.
Oh yeah,
it's the A in magnesium.
Yeah, you're right. It is. So yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah,
that definitely people generally with my clients, I've noticed that people that struggle will do late shifts or do 12-hour shifts, and they struggle to switch off. As a good ZMA is generally a good. I get that from MyProtein. I recommend people.
Yeah, I think I've got mine from MyProtein. I think I've had it from bulk powders before as well, and one off Amazon. And I think the idea of that is it's supposed to essentially help relax the nervous system, I read, which is then supposed to just obviously help you get off and get to sleep. But yeah, the main ones that you recommend then, your whey protein from, obviously as you can tell, Job isn't like super big into supplements, he likes to get people's diets on point, but the main ones was bulk powders, whey protein.
Whey isolate, yeah.
So, and then Amazon for your D3,
yeah.
Or MyProtein for your D3.
Yeah.
And then for your, if you do
struggle with sleep, ZMA for MyProtein.
A ZMA off MyProtein. Sweet. And awesome. And then for me, whey protein isolate, I recommend that off bulk powders as well. The vitamin D3, I get it from MyProtein as well. And then the Nordic oil, that you can get that off Amazon. And it's 30 quid. You can either get the bottle, and you actually you leave it in the fridge, and you have a little spoon, and it's got like natural lemon flavourings. It's actually not that bad, to be honest. It doesn't taste that bad. I had a client once that left it in the cupboard, and she told me she was like, it's fucking minging this, and I'm like, well, yeah, because it's fish. You've got it in the cupboard. So don't do that, guys, if you get the Nordic oil. Or you can get the Nordic oil capsules as well. So yeah, get that off Amazon or direct from the Nordic oil website. And then what was the other one that I recommend? Oh, multivitamin. I just get the bulk powders multivitamin.
Yeah, I get that. I take that.
Yeah. And that's really it for me. Speaking about sleep, so they can kind of go off on a tangent here. They're the ones that I'd recommend that you could, that are worth taking. Kind of discuss what they do and why you would have them. Now, in theory, you don't need to take any supplement. Do you know what I mean? If your goal's to lose weight, end of day, calorie deficit, you can lose weight. If your goal's to build muscle, correct training stimulus, and you eat enough protein, you're in a calorie surplus, you're going to build muscle. These are just the little refined things, more so for health. But obviously, if you think of a pyramid, if the base of the pyramid is your health, you can kind of build on that. You can get to the top of, you know what I mean? It's very important stuff is general health, because obviously if you're not well, you're not looking after yourself, it's hard to perform at your best and get after it really. So yeah, I'd still recommend some supplements, guys. Now, going on to sleep, obviously the ZMAs, which Job's recommended there, and I have taken them before, they are quite good. Another one that I've used recently is valerian root extract, which on the counter it's known as the Calms. So if you've seen the Calms supplements, or the Calms tablets, that's what valerian root extract is. And it's essentially, it releases, I believe it releases something called GABA in the brain, or increases it something. I'm not entirely sure. We're not coming from a nutrition background in terms of degree level, so some of the mechanisms I can't quite remember exactly. But essentially, something that allows you to relax close to bedtime if you're overthinking things, if you've got some anxiety and you're trying to get off. Calms is a good supplement to use to help you sleep as well. But that's really it for like general supplementation, and then obviously sleep. Have you got any others you think about? Maybe like more based around performance?
I've tried some other stuff before, but generally I tried like this. It's called 5-HTP, which is like a melatonin releasing supplement for when you go to sleep.
Oh really?
But it's all right. I mean, it's not. I'd stick to ZMA, to be honest. It's not amazing, I would say.
Yeah,
it's probably not worth your money.
Yeah, so ZMA is probably one to try
for me.
Someone that struggles with sleep, as well as getting in like a routine with your bedtime, making sure you try and stay off your phones close to bedtime, all that kind of stuff. Stay away from caffeine in the afternoon and evening. Like us doing this podcast charged off his tits at 2:30. Nah, it's not too bad, but yeah, as long as you're doing them things, got good sleep hygiene. If you want any more information about sleep hygiene, drop us one of us a message. We have plenty of information on that as well. But as well as doing that, taking a ZMA won't hurt, and trying the Calms won't hurt as well. Now, I think it'd be interesting to talk about other supplements that we have taken. I know you don't really take a load, do you?
No.
I probably take more than you, don't I?
Generally, you take a lot more than me, I'd say.
Yeah, so supplements that I take around training. So at the minute, all of my nutrition is actually done by my brother, Tom Summers, who's a PT in Huddersfield as well. And that's just to basically just allow him to just be in control of that. And I can just chill out and focus on everything else I need to do. And obviously Tom's good at what he does, so it's good to have him do it. Now, some of the supplements he has me take is, he has me do the Nordic oil, the multivit, and then obviously I choose to take vitamin D3 as well. I can't remember where he has me take that or not, but obviously I just take it anyway. And then also he has me take creatine monohydrate, which I'd recommend if you're someone that's training for performance, trying to get strong. Creatine monohydrate, it's very cheap. It's like a kilo. A kilo is like 11 quid, and you only need you can take anywhere from like 5 to 20 grams a day. There's not really any negative side effects. Some people report a little bit of bloating. Don't really affect me. Or at least I don't think it does.
Today you're looking pretty chunky to me.
I'm looking pretty chunky to me. Yeah, I think that's the 4,500 calories that's doing that, not the creatine. But a creatine, for those that don't know, in the muscle cell. So when you're training and stuff, you naturally produce creatine in the muscle basically, and it helps you with like the first 10 seconds of any sort of explosive exercise like lifting weights. So your strength training, for example. And essentially, if you imagine like a muscle cell as being like a sink, naturally you might have like half that sink full. Everyone's a bit different. Some people might be more full, some people might be less full. And essentially you just taking that creatine daily, every single day, just tops that creatine levels up so your sink is always full. And that way you've always got great energy for essentially fueling your strength sessions and making sure you can keep pushing the strength boundaries. So for you, obviously. So yeah, that's something I take, creatine daily. It's going to help with my strength. And then I also take cluster dextrin, which is like an easily digestible carbohydrate powder I have during training. I don't think this is necessary for everyday, like for everyone really. But if you're trying to like maximize your performance, especially at the back end of a session, if you're doing quite a decent amount of work, it's worth taking because it just gives you that extra little boost at the back end of your session. Plus, it's an easy way to get in some extra calories if you are trying to push that body weight up or push them strength gains up as well. So there's a carb powder plus dextrin. There's the creatine for strength. He also has to take an L-glutamine. L-glutamine is naturally in the stomach anyway, and this is going to help with. There's actually been some studies that show it having positive effects on your immune system, but it also has an effect on. It's supposed to have a good effect on digestion as well. So it's just another amino acid, and it's also supposed to have an effect on recovery too. But I don't think you need to take it for the benefits of extra amino acids, extra protein. Do you know what I mean? If you're already having adequate protein in your diet, but if it's going to have some benefits in terms of my gut health and digestion and that, and my immune system, then I think it's worth it. And then I think on it an essential amino acid as well. So it's essential, basically another thing that you probably don't need, but if you're just trying to maximise building muscle and getting strong, essential amino acids, for those that don't know, is essentially what is in protein, but you're just having it in a really easily digestible powder during your training. So if you imagine every time you have a meal during the day, it's like you'll have like a slight anabolic response from that meal because of the protein and everything. You just have another one of them during the training, and you can digest it well enough, because you obviously can't sit there with a large steak and rice meal whilst you're trying to squat. Otherwise you'll probably throw up. So yeah, they're the extra supplements I take. Yeah. I don't recommend everyone needs to take them, but if you are looking to like maximise building muscle or strength, it might be worth doing. One more supplement. This isn't what Tom recommends me to take.
It's how much you want. How many supplements?
So right, last supplement. Tren. No, I'm joking. Last supplement. So caffeine. That's something that I have before I train.
Oh yeah.
We're also having it right now. Increases mental clarity. Increases performance. It's an easy, cheap way to improve your performance is caffeine. However, as I found out in the past, it comes with a few drawbacks. Do you want to speak on that, Job? I feel like I've spoken it a lot.
What?
I've spoke a lot. Caffeine, pros and cons. Like
I was gonna. No, you finish, mate. I'll give my response afterwards.
Yeah, very good. Right, tasty. Right, okay, Okay, so I also take caffeine. I take pre-workout before I train. I didn't used to for a long time. I used to have coffee, and I've even gone periods where I don't take any. And it essentially just increases performance. Makes you feel like you're off your tits. And it just makes you feel alert, increases power output, increases strength for the short term whilst you are stimulated by it. Now, I have had some negative impacts. Been a bit stupid, bit of do as I say, not as I do things recently, where I've had sessions later on in the evening, like 6 p.m. And in my head I thought, oh, well, if I can have a nap tomorrow at some point, it won't matter if my sleep quality is affected tonight if I have this pre-workout before I train. And I've had it, and it's just like, it just makes me feel shit the rest of the week. So I'm not taking pre-workout if I'm training in the evening, which I wouldn't recommend anyone to ever fucking do anyway. And yeah, that's pretty much it. But during the day, if I'm training like early afternoon, I'll take it, or morning I will.
Right.
Jeb?
Right. I'll give my response to this question, because I think it's very different to yours, because actually one of the, quite weird, because we quite, like, I don't know, we normally have quite similar opinions to stuff. Mm-hmm. But, well, what he said is true, but I wouldn't say it's essential for everyone. And I wouldn't say it's essential for me at the moment for me to take it, because I have taken a lot of supplements in the past. I've taken creatine in the past, I've taken essential amino acids in the past, I've taken clusterdextrin in the past, I've had a lot. It's
C4.
C4.
You introduced me to C4.
Yeah, I've had I used to have it. And I just don't know what you're talking about. And I think you can go down a rabbit hole, I think, with supplements, and you just end up going. Sometimes you can concentrate so much on the supplements, you forget about the essentials of your diet.
Yeah, I fucking agree. I do agree.
And I think a lot of people get into this absolute, like, it's just even hard to fathom some people's supplement list.
Mine does sound pretty fucking long. Saying it out loud.
So yeah, like when you're explaining it all, it can be like overwhelming for a lot of people.
Yeah. I agree, man.
But there's a couple of things that would I say essential amino acids are essential? No. Would I say creatine is essential? No. Would I say even caffeine, is it essential? No. Well, I don't do any of my training with any of them supplements because I just don't feel like, I feel like if my mind's off supplements and I'm not thinking about them and I'm not concentrating about what I'm having and before my training session, all I'm thinking about is the training session. And I'm not thinking about, I've got to take this at this time. I've got to have, 5 grams of creatine at this time. And then another thing with me with creatine as well is, I don't know if you remember this, when we was in university, we turned up to that lecture with...
Rob Hamilton.
No, not Rob Hamilton. The Scottish guy who cycled.
Oh, that wanker.
I forgot his name. He's got a PhD in nutrition.
Yeah,
he's got nutritional science.
Yeah, the guy. Yeah,
we sat down.
He was telling us you don't. He
sat down.
I remember it vividly.
And he said, "You don't need protein, basically." And I was actually like one of the most. I used to have creatine all the time, but I don't think it. To a degree, it is cheap. It is.
It made it out like it was the most expensive way.
Yeah, but I don't think it's essential to have any. If I was a beginner and this is what I tell most of my clients: you don't need any supplements.
Yeah,
and you don't need the only ones that was the essential list that we started at the beginning, and I actually do that, and I just concentrate on the training because I feel like it's just another thing to be on top of. Have I got it in stock? Have I got it in my cupboard? Have I got this? Have I got that? And then I'm putting money towards it, and then I'm doing, and it just becomes, for me, it's just another stress factor in my life, which I just don't need.
Yeah, I suppose I get that. So the main benefit for you is reducing the anxiety around it all, where you don't need it. And I suppose and this is another thing, guys, where I don't want to go too much off tangent, but like when you get to a level when you get to like an intermediate, I'd consider myself more like intermediate level, and when you get to more of an intermediate like training level where it's a bit harder to like make progress in the gym and you come across like the odd injuries and niggles and stuff like that, but also it's just more difficult anyway. You got to be a bit smart with your training and stuff. Being on top of your recovery is massive. Now, one part of recovery that people do not think about is just being de-stressed and just being more chilled out. It's like you need your yin and your yang, is what I like to say. And it's like, if you ever found that like them times where you're fucking getting pissed off of everything, you fucking birds pissing you off, or you're a partner or whatever, and you're getting fucked off at work, your boss is giving you shit, and you go to work and go, fucking sweet session now. You know what I mean? You're getting pissed off for a full week, and like your first session might be good, and then you're still pissed off towards back end of the week, and all of a sudden like your performance is dipping. It's probably because you're fucking stressed all the time. And Job's point about like just there is something definitely to be said about making everything outside of the gym a bit simpler in terms of the nutrition and that, and just focusing on your nutrition and your training and not worried about all these other things. It probably can be beneficial for that aspect.
Another point I was going to go into is with clusterdextrin. I don't know if people don't. Well, clusterdextrin, dextrose, them fast absorbing carbohydrates. For people that don't know what it is, it's basically like a carbohydrate drink that is easily absorbed by the body.
Mm-hmm.
I used to have this all the time when I was a bit more heavy. And as soon as I started taking them out and I started eating the carbs, I feel like my performance went up in the gym. I just felt like, I don't know what it was, to be honest. It was, I just prefer eating it.
Yeah, that could be a multitude of things.
It's a lot of things. I think that's what is individual, isn't it? Like you said, it's individual. For me, I think maybe it was from where I came from, where like in my original training days when I just always go to the gym, like I had a good portion, like a good meal before the gym, feel full during not full, but felt well fed for the gym.
Yeah.
Have a good meal after the gym.
Yeah.
And then when I went from that to maybe I was more spaced out, my carbs and my fats and throughout the day, and then I had the high carbohydrate drink, which is like, well, I don't know how much you had, but went up to maybe like I don't know, 75 gram carbs, 100
Yeah,
gram
mine's
carbs.
50, isn't it? What's
Yeah.
What, 25, mine's 50.
What? It just, I don't know, it just didn't work for me. I felt good to a degree, but not as good as I felt when I.
Yeah, you prefer. Yeah,
So,
I think that anecdotal like evidence as well. That matters to you. Do you know what I mean? And if for whatever reason you feel better about it, that's good enough for you to go about it. Do you know what I mean? And that's fine. I think as well, guys, this is something that's really important is context. So, I'm not telling my clients that they all need to get essential amino acids, creatine, cluster dextrin, glutamine, all these different things. What I'll do is I'll recommend that list that we gave at the beginning: vitamin D3, omega-3, whey protein isolate if you struggle to get the protein in, and a multivit just for general health. This is like a recommended list. This isn't a necessity, but they're the things I'll recommend. Now, obviously, me with my training, I suppose it's one of the things. Have you heard Dave Tate talking about priorities? Like, where's training in your priorities?
Yeah.
It's like, for me, training and work are like 1 and 2 priority, like pretty much all the time. Obviously, within that, I mean, there's family in that too. I know Penny won't be listening to this anyway, will you? But there's family in that too. Do you know what I mean? And me puppa Bruce. But like, obviously, two of my main priorities is training and work. So for me, if I'm on top of the basics, like what Job says, make sure I'm on top of sleep, and sometimes that one every now and again will get me. Do you know what I mean? I'll still let that slip up every now and again. But if I'm on top of sleep, consistent with my training, I'm doing my mobility work, doing my pre-ab work, I make sure I'm having my hot baths, stretching after my sessions, and like being intentful in the gym, like fucking giving it some, then if I can see even a little bit of benefit to some supplements and being consistent with them, then I'll do it. And don't get me wrong, there's been times, that's essentially why I'm doing it, obviously. And my brother doing my programming, sorry, not my programming, my diet side of things, I'll just do it.
Yeah, that makes sense. Well, yeah, like you said, if someone gives you a plan, you're going to follow it.
That's it. But yeah, that's pretty much nutrition summed up, really. If you guys want to ask us any other questions about anything we've mentioned here, I know we've kind of like blasted through quite a lot there. Probably ended up listing like 10 different supplements. And went into it a lot there. So if you guys ever have any questions about any of this, just drop us a message.
We list the 3 at the end, just to make sure that they don't get confused.
List the 3 what?
The main 3 of vitamin D3.
Yep.
Multivit.
Yep. And omega-3.
And omega-3.
Yeah.
And if you've got enough protein in your diet, you don't actually need protein bar.
Yeah, you do, yeah.
If you're struggling, it's very easy to digest. And it's very
convenient,
palatable.
Yeah, that means tasty, guys.
Yeah,
it means it is tasty. Right, so that's supplements. Next, I want to talk about reason why. And if you're thinking what you're talking about, I'm talking about when you have a goal of losing weight, getting stronger, building muscle, you want to compete in a competition, whatever your goal may be, your reason why is the deep-seated emotional reason why you want to get this shit done. And sometimes you might not even know it at first. You might need to write it down and have a think and kind of like discuss it. But what I find is when I get clients to come on the onboarding process with me, I ask them about the goals. The second thing I'll ask them is why. Why is that their goal? It catches quite a few people off guard because they're thinking, I want to lose 2 stone. It's like, why is that your goal? And obviously they're thinking, first thing that they probably think, or sometimes a lot of the things they say is, well, I want to fucking lose weight. I want to lose 2 stone. That's not what I mean. So, for example, I won't give client names, but I've had someone in the past where they've started off, it's like, I want to lose a couple stone. And it's like, why do you want to lose a stone? It's like, well, I just want to lose weight. I want to be not as big. I'm like, yeah, but why? And it comes down to, in that scenario, it came down to like self-respect and self-confidence. So when they looked in the mirror, they weren't happy. they were unhealthy as well, so they were obese, and they wanted to feel better in their own skin. So when they go out or when they're interacting with people in social settings or wherever, they just felt better about themselves and they just felt more confident. And from that, live a better quality of life, both mentally and physically. So, personally, I think the reason why is super important. That is what I mean by the reason why. Now, that's just an example for someone who wants to lose weight. It might be different for someone who wants to get strong, or someone who wants to get fitter, or whatever. But I think if you outline what your reason why is before you go after any goal, it can just be very powerful in terms of making you adhere to the plan and making you get shit done on a daily basis that you might not otherwise want to do. Like the boring shit, like fucking weighing out your food and that, or getting your steps in. If you have like on your wallpaper on your phone, or you have it written down somewhere in your diary or something, or on your fridge, like the reason why I want to lose 2 stone is so I feel better about myself. I feel more confident when the pubs reopen. I feel like a fucking boss. It can be something like that, and it is super powerful. It does help with motivation. I've gone on a little bit there. I think what'll be. Do you want to talk about the reason why, Tom?
Yeah, I can do. I'll talk about myself. How about that?
Yeah, you know what? I was actually gonna suggest that. You talk about your reason why, yeah?
Right. So I've had a lot of reasons why. I think it changed.
Let's talk about your reason why you wanted to get in shape. Because for those that didn't know, Joe wasn't always this lean,
mean,
grilling machine.
So it was. Well, I'll go for the OG. The original reason why I started training was to be good at rugby. That was simply it. I didn't really care I just wanted to be a professional rugby player. I didn't really give
you
a shit
wanted to be a pro. Yeah.
Like a lot of people would come up to me like, "How have you got like?" I remember people when I was younger, when I was like 16, like, "Oh, how are you so big?" or something like that. I'm like, I don't really. I'm big, but I wasn't really I wasn't doing it for aesthetics reasons. I was just doing it because I want to be good at rugby.
How big were you in your teenagers? You know, when you were at Exeter. Job was at. By the way, guys, when Job was younger, did you end up being at Exeter Chiefs Academy, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So that's a professional rugby union team down south, and So how heavy were you then?
Well, the years. Well, I think I was like every year. My weight was the same as my age. So when I was 17, like Eddie Hall, but then I stopped. But then I stopped when I got to like 18. So it was.
So you were like 18 stone at 18 years old.
Yeah. Well, I got up to 18 at 18 years old, and I came back down.
Wow. So Job's 26 now.
Could have been 26 then.
And you're lighter than what you are then.
Yeah, I know.
So you must have been heavy, man.
Yeah, I was. I got up to.
So you're like 16 stone now, aren't you? So you're light for you, aren't
you? Yeah.
And you was 18 stone at age 18.
Yeah.
So sorry, your reason why? Sorry.
Oh, right. So yeah. Oh, we like going off topic. Yeah, we do. So right, that was my original reason why, and then that was kind of, and then I got to uni. I still really didn't care about aesthetics, right? Even though I was with you, I don't know. I like training heavy, and I like training like being strong, and I like that. That was kind of I just really wanted to be strong after a while. When I got about 18 and I was getting into the gym and I was quite good at lifting weights, I was just wanted to be as strong as possible.
Yeah.
And then I got to universities and I just concentrate on. Then I did Olympic weightlifting for a bit.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to be good at that.
Mm-hmm.
And then I got a few injuries, got a couple of shoulder dislocations, and then training went a bit iffy. Did a lot of rehab, did a lot of leg work, it was kind of a bit all over the place. And then when I finished uni, I was real heavy. And I was...
how heavy were you then?
I think I was just over... I was over 20 stone, so... I know I was near 130 kilos, I don't know what that was. But
130 kilos?
Yeah.
I think it's like 21 stone.
I was near that.
It's like 20 stone 10 or something, like 20 stone 8,
it was
somewhere.
It was over 20 stone.
It's over 20 and a half stone.
Yeah, it was over 20 and a half stone.
It's heavy.
It is real heavy. For me,
it's super heavy.
Anyway, well, I remember coming back. I actually knew, like, I got to the point where I remember, anyway, I got my picture taken on holiday, and I remember looking at it, I'm like, had my top off, and I'm like, oh my God, I've let myself go so bad. Like, I didn't realise, like, I knew I was eating a lot. I was still training a lot. Like, even on holiday, I still didn't maybe training. I was training like, I was doing cardio in the morning, weights in the evening, doing that throughout the holiday. So I was doing that five times a week, and then did that throughout the holiday, and then I got the picture taken. I was like, and then my sis, well, I won't mention any names. I got my picture taken, and someone said, like, Joe, for how much you train, why are you not in better shape? And I remember looking at it and being like, oh God, my nutrition is just so bad. Like, my nutrition is so bad. And I remember being like, feeling really insecure about having my top off, because I had that picture taken. I remember that was instantly the feeling I had was, oh my God, I feel so insecure with my top off. And I was like, right. I looked at it and I was like, right, well, can either go two ways. I can either stay the same, do nothing about it, or I can make a plan and go from there. So I got back from holiday, set out the plan. Obviously, I messaged you quite a bit about some stuff, and I messaged you a couple of times about stuff, and I got some help. And then I set out the plan. The plan was, it wasn't ever a weight. At first, I wanted to just lose weight fast, but I wanted to take the initial weight off, but it was never an end point for me, which I think a lot of people have, like a set weight. But for me, it was just to be able to take your top off confidently anywhere. So for me, it was, I could be anywhere, take my top off, and I wouldn't feel insecure about it. So
That's a cool goal. That.
Yeah.
That's
So
a cool goal.
Instead of putting a number on it, which I think a lot of people do, I just wanted to do that. So
it's awesome.
Yeah, it took a bit longer than I thought, but it was. I knew I could do it because I never put a time cap on it. I never put pressure on myself to lose it at a certain time. I know a lot of people put, I've got to do this in 12 weeks.
Yeah.
I've got to want to get a certain weight at 12 weeks.
Sometimes, for some people it's okay as that, but for a lot of people it adds unnecessary pressure.
It just adds on,
especially when people aren't used to being in the situation where they're dieting before. It can. I'm not saying that you have to be a certain weight in a certain amount of fucking weeks, especially people that don't deal with, like what they might consider quote unquote failure very well. It can fuck them up because they can just end up going off. They can just end up fucking it up after a few weeks. You know what I mean? If they don't get there by week 7 because they have they go out for they have some kind of important family social event, they'll start calling them. Yeah, I mean, they'll start thinking they're low self-worth and they'll just give up.
And if you put an end point in it, this is also a thing that I think a lot of people muck up on, is you put an end point in it, and when you get to that end point, say you do it, you get to whatever weight. That's it. Some people just, right, I've done it, and that's it. That's their goal done, tick.
Yeah.
And they just give up, and then you just yo-yo back up to that weight.
Yeah.
You've just done all that hard work. This is why, in my head, I was like, I'm not putting it, I can't put a weight. That was one of the reasons behind it as well, because I was just like, I'm not putting.
Never want to feel like that again, kind of thing.
I'm never feeling like that again. One, I know I can do it. It doesn't matter the time frame. I know I can do it. It's gonna get done.
Yeah.
I don't really need to put pressure on myself. I don't need to make it horrible, because I've done it in the past where, people go, right, this is this, and it's just from day one you're not enjoying it. And I remember being like, I did it before in the past where I think I may have done it for a couple of weeks, and then I went out on partying or something and went for a drink, and that's gone out the window, and I was just like, I can't get back on it. And I was like, right, if you go out or you need a break for the diet break, that's fine, but you can't. In my head, I was like, you're always going to be at maintenance. You're never going to go too crazy. It'll never let it spiral out of control. Like a lot of people will just
Yeah,
let
you're not in that binge restrict cycle that people talk about. You're staying disciplined, basically.
Yeah.
You're staying disciplined. If you want to go out, you're not getting ready for a fucking bodybuilding show or anything like that in fucking 6 months. So you can fucking go out and have a few drinks if that's what you sort of choose to do.
Yeah.
And you're in control of it, and you're not gonna fucking let it fuck you up for like weeks and be sad about it. You're just gonna fucking get back on horse next day and get training, kind of thing.
Exactly. And yeah, eventually I just kept, like digging away at it, kept going. I was like, 1 stone down, 2 stone down, 3 stone down. I had a break at, I think maybe when I got to 17, I had a break for a little bit. Maybe 17 and a half, had a little break. Just stayed at maintenance for a bit. Had a diet break. Just like, I'm not going to push it too much, too fast. Go back at it. And just eventually, after the months it kept ticking down. I got to the point where I was like, right, I'm at a comfortable weight. Now it's for aesthetics reasons, like I want to build some more muscle. I want to look good with taking my top off. Like I looked okay, but not good enough for me. But I still had that goal of taking your top off anywhere.
Yeah, so your reason why was still there.
Yeah, so I carried on. And I think in my head, I don't think that goal will ever go away, that I could always be better than I have last month.
Yeah, you can always be better.
That I could take my top off anywhere.
Yeah.
But I could still be better than that. And I think that's something that's like got ingrained in my head from doing it.
Yeah,
like,
you kind of just got used to it.
I just got used to it. Like I can be 1% better than I was last month.
So hang on, just for people listening, right? So this reason why didn't just fuel Job to do like a fucking 8-week transformation. When was that picture taken? What year?
I can't remember. I don't know what year. It was a couple of years ago now.
Yeah, so we're talking at least 2 years ago. And instead of it just like fueling an 8-week transformation or something, because Job's reason why meant enough to him, it switched his entire lifestyle for the last 2 years up until now. And I can fucking almost completely guarantee that Job's probably going to stick with that now, probably for the rest of his life, unless something fucking mad happens. Obviously,
I can't see it ever changing in my life.
So obviously, your reason why when you were a kid was you wanted to be a professional rugby player. That was a massive fear.
It was my goal.
And then through university, where you had a bit of injuries, a bit here and there, by the sounds of it, correct me if I'm wrong, your reason why wasn't as strong. And you probably didn't make as much progress as you did when you were a kid, when you had a massive reason why. And you probably didn't make as much progress as you do now. Now you've got another massive reason why.
Yeah.
So there's a theme appearing here, guys. Like, if you have a big reason why, 1, you'll stick at it, but 2, you'll probably fucking be better at it. But yeah, that's fucking cool, man. And then you've got another reason why now, haven't you? What are your reasons why now? If you fucking obviously you still got that.
That's never changing.
I'd argue you've still got some more, man. You got a powerlifting comp up this year.
Yeah.
You're starting your personal training business on the 12th of April at the unit.
Yeah.
You've just got more fucking fuel to fire of reasons why to fucking keep getting after it.
Yeah, no. I definitely, I don't know, that's like a psychological switch. Definitely just fucking went in my head.
Yeah, just jumped off his fucking tits, guys.
I just
got on another
level. I'm on a new level. I don't know what I'm doing up there. But yeah, no, it's good. It's the next goal for me is obviously I'm still want to stay in shape. I'm never getting out of shape.
Yeah, because your reason why is too important for you not to.
Yeah, but fair enough. I am. I'm pretty confident with this powerlifting competition now. I feel, like I said, every day I feel like, I don't know, I just feel getting more confident by the day.
That's awesome, man.
I reckon I'll go. Also in my head I think I know no one's, like, I don't know if this is you or me, or is it just like a very, very broad thought with people that want to get it done, is I like to think that no one's going to be as more consistent as me going forward. Like in my head, I'm thinking, nobody else is doing this. Nobody's been this consistent.
Yeah.
And I think that's.
Fucking just helps fuel it.
It just helps it. I just think that.
That's another level. A lot of people might not be able to relate to that listening, but some people might.
And I just think consistency is key.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. That's fucking sick.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they're Job's big reason why. So outlining your reason why is fucking massive, guys. Yeah, it's fucking big.
What about you? What of this?
Oh, I thought you'd never ask.
well, I'm sure they don't want to know.
Yeah, to be fair, guys, yeah, we'll end it there. No, I'm joking. Yeah, so in terms of me, I'll kind of... Job's was pretty interesting, to be fair. With mine, my reason why when I first started getting into the gym was just to be a bit more fucking... I didn't really realise at the time, because I probably didn't speak about it, or I probably didn't even think about it properly, but I first started training when I was about 14, maybe 13, and my initial reason why was just have a bit more confidence, be a little bit bigger. That was my first reason why when I was a kid. And then, similar to Job, like now when I say it out loud, when I've had a good solid reason why, I've always trained since I was young. So has Job. I've always trained pretty consistently. Probably had like a week or two off a year, something like that. I don't even know if that's it. Maybe that, I think, since we were like kids, yeah. And I'd say the times where I had a reason why I made better progress. So when I first started training, and I wanted to just feel more confident and like get a bit bigger, I did make alright progress at first. And then kind of just went gym because I liked going to the gym. And then that was that. And then when I got to university, even though in all that period of time, I could have made great progress, but it was only when I started playing rugby again, when I was at uni, and I came back and I did a tournament with a rugby team, and I got stuck in, but I was quite light for me. I think I was like fucking, my first game of rugby back after not playing for 4 years when I was at uni, I was somewhere between 12 and 13 stone, I think. I'm fucking so skinny for me. And I got stuck in, like, but my body felt like fucking paper mache. And when I was a kid, when I stopped playing rugby, I was like 14 stone. So I was heavier and bigger, similar to Job's story, but just a lot less fucking, I was just a lot smaller. And at that point, I was like, right, I need to get fucking strong for rugby. I need to start fucking getting better at rugby again, because I just felt like I was shit, which I was. So I went and played a season at Underbank, and I started training, getting my strength training back up, getting my body weight back up. And at one point during university, I was the heaviest I've ever been at like 16 stone playing second row. And my strength was up, I was the strongest I've ever been, and I was loving it. I didn't need to be that heavy. The body, I probably went a bit far the other way, like I needed to probably do a bit more conditioning and fitness stuff, but my reason why I was that strong in order for me to get like big and strong, there was plenty of times where I felt like I was the strongest person on the pitch. Plenty of times. Maybe not the best rugby player all the time, but I definitely felt like the strongest at times. And that was because my reason why I was good then. And then, as we've progressed since university, I'd say my reason why now is pretty strong, and it's just that I fucking really, really, really want to be good at some kind of athletic endeavour. I feel like rugby, I was alright, and that was like the only real thing I was interested in. I played football because my friends played it as a kid, and rugby I was okay, but I was never really great at it. But I'd really like to be good at powerlifting. And it just fuels me every day, just thinking, I really want to be fucking good at this. And that's really it. And I think getting a competition, obviously that's my reason why, and that helps because of, you know what I mean, it creates that a good level of pressure on yourself to like get better. But going slightly off tangent, but not really, adding to that pressure and building on that reason why, booking myself in for like a competition is probably going to be the next thing.
Yeah, definitely. It's definitely going to...
When I did that, like obviously the competition schedules for a lot of the powerlifting feds in the UK at the minute, it's all over the shop. There was one in the BPU that I saw, and then the next day I actually had a look, and all the open competitions that you could go to were all fucking fully booked up. So as soon as I can, I'm going to book a comp, as soon as one comes available that I can enter this year. And I have no doubt that that's going to fuel me to be the best I've ever been at powerlifting so far. I know a few years ago when I booked myself in for a comp in November 2018, I lifted the most weight I've ever lifted on all three on the same day. So, yeah, that's my experience with my reason why. So yeah, guys, to conclude, really, it's just important to. Fucking hell, I forgot about one. There was one in there between me wanting to get big and strong for rugby and me trying to be good at a sport for once in my fucking life. In between
Your
there,
bodybuilding phase.
I went for a little phase where I wanted to be in fucking, a little bit of a bodybuilding phase, and where I just wanted to get and show myself and show others that I could get in epic shape. I could get really lean, and I just got in shape for a holiday. Like the holiday was just something there, but it wasn't for it wasn't for the holiday. It was just to show myself and show others that I could fucking get in epic shape.
Yeah, that was. I remember you needed that. That was just ridiculous.
Yeah, I had my brother in my diet then as well. Tom Summers did my diet then. It was fucking hard. Got a crash course. I don't think a lot of people could have done it.
Definitely not. No.
It wasn't sustainable, but I just wanted to show that I do it, and I think I liked the idea that it wasn't sustainable in a weird way. Because I knew that it was a good challenge. And I think, this is a fucking other topic entirely, right? But I see a lot, like obviously I've never done a bodybuilding competition, I don't have any interest in doing it. I did in the past, thought about it. But a lot of people speak about getting in, like, you shouldn't get in, there's like a bit of an anti-diet culture where you shouldn't try and get in like epic shape, it's unhealthy, it's not good for you mentally and all this kind of stuff. But I think it's a fucking good challenge. And I think it's okay not to say if you really want to get in like Job, you could, if you wanted to, you could get a stone lighter right now and you could get absolutely diced, couldn't you? And I think you got no interest in doing that. But say for example, I've got nothing against someone wanting to do that as just a challenge and knowing that it's not going to be something that they're going to sustain for the rest of their life. But just having that challenge of being in the ultimate best shape in their fucking life, even if it is just for a week, just as something to accomplish. As like a mental challenge to get there. And you can always like reverse diet back up and add some food back in and gain some weight. But I think there's something to be said for that as well. I think that is a good reason why, if it matters to you.
Yeah, it's true.
At the end of the day, it's down to the individual, isn't it?
It is. You got to find out what's the reason, like you said, the reason why. What's pushing you to your goal? Why?
Yeah.
Why is it motivating you? What is it? So.
Yeah, that's it, man. That's it. It's all about what motivates you to fucking get after it. And you can't copy off other people.
Nah, it's not.
It don't fucking work, man. You can't just think, oh, Christian and Job's doing it because he wants to do that. That's a good idea. That's a good motivating reason. I'll copy that. But ultimately, unless it is your reason, it ain't gonna fucking work.
I tried, to be fair, like, when I didn't actually have the reason why, before that picture was taken, when I was on the beach.
Yeah, man.
I did not, I tried dieting before, and I just didn't really want it that bad. Like, I wasn't that bothered. I was more bothered about...
Yeah, I've seen you cut the calories down for a short period of time before and fuck it off and then...
Yeah, I wasn't too
I've done
bothered.
the same, to be fair. Before tour holiday or whatever.
It's just...
the odd one.
It does take trial and error and obviously finding the motivation why. You can always tell with people that who wants it.
Yeah.
Especially when, obviously, you're a personal trainer, you can tell how well they're sticking to it.
Yeah.
How bad you actually want this.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that's why it's always important to outline it straight away.
Yeah.
Outline it straight away. So, yes, guys, I think that's about it for me.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, so that's episode 4, guys. Supplements and the reason why. If you like the episode, please share it on Instagram or Facebook. Tag us in it. And if you need any advice on training or nutrition, you can message me at cjsummers.training or Job at
murphyeliteperformance@gmail.com or murphy.training on Instagram.
Awesome, guys. Speak soon.